All right, guys. Sorry about that. I click, go live, and I'm like, man, there's nobody here, right? So I'm waiting. Nothing's going on. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so then I go into settings, and it was still set to private. So I was watching myself. Anyway, guys, I do apologize for that. It's weird. I used to be able to set up my videos, ahead of time, and it would just automatically be public. Well, now I guess with some new setup, I have to make sure that it's on public when I set it up. So, yeah, most people probably won't see the notification on this because I set this up hours ago. So it sort of sucks, but whatever. Today it'll be a loss. It's something that I'll keep in mind, for future. So I was going to talk. Not I was going to, but I was headed towards talking about reparations. Right? We were talking about reparations for, I guess, Black Americans, right, who were descendants of slaves. So let's keep that in mind. It's descendants of slaves. It's not with. It's not any black folks. Sorry. It's not just any old black folks. Like myself, I couldn't get it because I'm not a descendant of American slaves. My family came over here from South America and Dominica Island. So, and also my mother's side, Puerto Rico. So, I'm out on that one. Not that I would want the money to begin with. I'm not a big fan of it. So, with that, guys, as I was getting ready to come on here. Yeah, Gene. You're right. At least I did announce it. But wow, it's insane that I have to fix it every time I hit. Every time I create the live stream, I have to fix it now. Whereas before, it was just automatically private, right? So whatever. Yeah, yeah. Tiger, that was my fuck up from the beginning. It's something new that YouTube did, and I wasn't aware of it, so that was my fault. Northern Girl, I guess. I mean, you could, but some like what I'm going to talk about now, which is before the reparations thing. I just came across this accidentally, and all I was thinking to myself was the wait, the island of Doctor Monroe. So, if a lot of you get that reference, right? That was about the gene splicing, human animal splicing, right? And so anyway, I come across this article. I have to read this shit to you guys, and that's crazy. I got the notification from my channel 4 minutes in, so right, it just popped up. So hopefully people are jumping on, but I'm also stepping on K Marie, which I didn't know who had a live stream, and Arkansas Living. So if they happen to watch this, I do apologize. But life goes on, right, guys? So with that, as I'm preparing for this, I run into this article. It calls "Human Hybrid Researchers." Sorry, scratch that. Oh no. Okay, so basically, guys, scientists found a way to splice human and monkey genes together, right? And I wasn't going to talk about that. I was actually going to talk about the reparations, but I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I definitely think we are headed towards, with the splicing of two primates, or primate and a human. I think that's fucking bad, right? So I mean, like I'm looking at this and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I just couldn't believe it, and now of course I lost it because why not? Right, of course I lost it. It was a breaking news from Yahoo, and it talked about the scientists finally spliced human and monkey genes together to hopefully one day grow. And they didn't. And the article was so vague too, guys. It was like, all right, we found a way to splice these two together and marry them, but what for? Thank you for that. Yes, Chimera, right? If I'm saying that right. Right, let's see if I can find it again. Human animal hybrid researchers, yes. Human animal hybrid research raises hope and concern. Scientists have successfully grown embryos that contain a combination of human and monkey cells. Okay, so not genes. The major breakthrough is it's a major breakthrough in the rapidly advancing field of genetics. Researchers say that one day could revolutionize the understanding of human development. What more do we need to understand with human development? Am I missing something? Deshmo, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. All right, listen. So we're good. We had 300 viewers. That's normally what we're at on this channel, so that's great. All right, guys. So this team of scientists injected human stem cells into monkey embryos. And the embryo survived longer than this is back then. This is years ago. They did that, and none of the embryos survived longer than 19 days. Sorry. The same scientists have successfully produced a pig and sheep embryo with human cells. So they are hell bent on creating another species, right? And that's that looks like where we're going. And again, the guys, this just caught my attention. I'm sorry that I I deviated from the show today, but I just could not understand this. Now I'm going to read this tonight, and then I'm going to obviously do a video on this channel, The Angry Truth. But why? The reasoning, guys, sounds like bullshit. They want to understand human development, and they can also they said this program can also have them grow organs for humans. I thought we were already doing that. I thought we were already trying to grow organs for humans in petri dishes and shit like that, or wherever the fuck you grow organs, right? I thought they were already doing that. So now they're trying to give us this bullshit reasoning while they're splicing and mixing cells and embryo cells together. It just sounds like the worst excuse in the world, and it sounds like this is their reasoning for starting another race of people, which undoubtedly is going to happen, right? I mean, listen, we all know this was coming, but I didn't think I was going to see this in my lifetime. I thought it was going to be long dead before I saw something like this. Now, this is still probably 30, 40 years out, right? So they mix the two cells together. I don't know if they're actually going to grow an actual being out of this. But the fact that they were able to do this does suggest that down the line they could, right? So we can only hope and see, right? And again, guys, like what's his name said, it's called I think it was called the Chimera Project or something like that. Yes, and then in the article goes, why is there a debate? There's no we already know why there's a fucking debate. And then what's next? Perspective. Like I said, it's called the Chimera Research. Create too many troubling unknowns. The Chimera Research creates too many troubling unknowns. Anyway, guys, so it's another group of people that we're going to probably wind up hating in the fucking near future. Like probably 40, 50 years from now. Like monkey-like humans, whatever the fuck it is, Bigfoots, idiots, more Kamala Harris's, whatever you want to look at it as, guys. It's just seeming to be like a big fucking problem. Anyway, I gotta try to save this article, but it's not letting me. Of course it doesn't let me. Why would it let me? Anyway, guys, so let's get back on track. Thank you, Iron Safe. They're already growing human organs. So if they're already growing human organs, and wherever the hell they're growing them, why are we entertaining the hybrid human monkey thing? That could create a super soldier, maybe. I don't know. Who the fuck knows, guys? It's just I don't like where that's going. So let's get back to the show. You will definitely see a video on that tomorrow or the next day. Also, guys, as part of the rabbit hole theory videos, I am filming them tomorrow. So I should be releasing them later this week for both the Angry Prepper membership and the Angry Truth membership. So if you guys are interested in conspiracy theories, but not too far off. I'm not going to go on a tangent and say aliens are fucking controlling our brain. I'm not going down that road. But we're going to play connect the dots, sort of like wargaming, right? A lot of us wargamed the things that are going on now. There were people well before my time who wargamed what's going on now, and we are seeing it. So these videos are going to entertain it from that aspect. We're not going to get too crazy, but I'm not going to be too vague, if that makes sense. And again, that's going to be for members only. Just because, like I said, I wanted to give you guys something to, view, if you will, and entertain you, because you guys are paying extra for being a member. So why not give you some shit? Craig Davis, I know nothing about raising rabbits. I mean, yeah, I know nothing about it. I couldn't even speak about it. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't do it in my apartment, that's for sure. But yeah, I know nothing about raising rabbits. So for those of you guys that are watching, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever makes you happy. So guys, let's get to the show. So today's topic, guys, we're going to talk about reparations. Now, I thought that this talk of reparations for Black Americans was over, right? And whatever, man. I just think it's a bad idea. That's me personally. I truly think that reparations is a bad idea because where's this money going to come from? Who's going to fund it? Who's going to get it? Like, who exactly is going to get it? Anna, thank you for joining the membership. So, guys, reparations has been talked about since the 80s. 1989, to be exact. It was actually discussed as to whether or not African Americans or African American descendants of slaves can receive some kind of pay or form of a sorry and monetary value. All right? So, with that, yesterday, 2 days ago, maybe? What's today? Monday? Yeah, so Thursday, it was last Thursday. There was a bill that was being moved forward in the House. The House bill is actually a bill on studying the issues of rewarding reparations to descendants of American slaves. Now, it said American slaves, it didn't say African American slaves. So I'm wondering that's also including the Chinese in that as well. And other people who were slaves here in the United States. Now, some will say the Irish were slaves as well, but then some will say they were indentured servants. So does that include them? Does that include the Chinese, right? So who else is getting this slave? Now, the politicians that's dating Rosario Dawson, Booker or something or another, right? Booger, whatever his name is. He was saying that because of the Black Wall Street being destroyed, because of the Tuskegee Airmen Project, because of slavery, he was saying that the black people in America deserve some kind of funding. Chuck Norris Gun Club, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. With that, guys, let me get this out of the way. So anyway, so the talk of reparations is becoming more common every year. Every year they talk about it, right? And so Nelly World, right? So that it's a bill for a study on how to pay people out, and is it plausible to pay people out? That's what the bill is. So they're actually Cory Booker, thank you, or Cory Booger, whatever you want to call him. I can't stand the guy. That guy deserves a punch in the face. And there was also another politician, guy, a black dude, light skin, green eyes. He was also pushing the reparation thing, and Maxine Waters as well. She was pushing it. She was actually pushing it years ago. She was actually pushing it back in the late 90s. She was pushing that as well. So all these people were talking about it back then. Now here we are talking about it today. So This train is going to pull into the station, guys. People, or rather African Americans, are going to get paid this reparation because they are pushing this bill for a study. But the study is going to ultimately find, listen, it's going to sit there and say, well, you know what? They deserve something. Now, not for nothing, guys, but why are you paying people, right, that didn't experience slavery, that have no connections to slavery, that have no spiritual connection, that have no trauma to it? There's no connection to that era for the people that are getting it now. If you wanted to give slaves reparations, that's something you should have did back then, not now. Douglas, thank you for joining the club. Reparations would have been reserved for those who were directly affected by it. And even if you want to go a couple of generations ahead, you could have gave it to them. But now you're talking about hundreds of years later, people who are displaced from it, who have no knowledge of it, who don't even fucking understand it, and now you're going to give them money for something they don't know anything about, that they don't understand, that they're just in it for the dollar. So again, guys, Sane Wraith, yes, I was going to talk about that, not tonight, but because you brought it up. Supposedly, and that's later tonight. But yes, in New York State, they're giving illegal immigrants a $15,000 check one time for, you know what? They really didn't clarify for what it was for. So my tax-paying dollars are paying for an illegal to get $15,000, right? A stimulus. It's like a stimulus check, if you will, but they didn't label it that. I think that's just very, very, not even, that's beyond strange. Sorry. That's very strange, guys. That's something that shouldn't be happening. But before we dive into that, because I don't want to be all over the place, before we dive into that, so now, Southern Bell teacher, what do you disagree with? Civil War was reparations. I agree. Yeah, guys, if you disagree or agree, elaborate on that, because I can't, like, you guys will be like, I agree, but I agree with what? You know? Again, guys, so with that, listen, I know that this topic's going to piss some people off. So the fuck be it. That's what we do. Alexis, $15,000. Yes, I had to look it up myself. I thought it was 1,500. I thought it was like a fucking decimal the wrong way. I was like, no, it's $15,000. So again, guys, what does this reparations mean for America, right? So where does that take America? Does that create a further divide, right? People getting something that they don't deserve and shouldn't get, right? I think there's an issue with giving Southern Bell. All right, thank you for that. I think that there's no need for it. I'm sorry. And yes, I think I know what Southern Bell teacher disagrees with. Some people will say, yes, there has been, the past trauma of slavery has affected the black community all the way down to now, right? Now, I've seen a couple of videos on those connections to slavery and the trauma and the trauma that the black community is experiencing, right? I've seen those videos. I've seen them all. And not all, I've seen two of them, sorry, right? So I've seen those two videos, and I'm like, okay. So you mean to tell me that my great-great-great-great-grandfather mother were beaten, hung, murdered, separated, and that affected us traumatically to this day? I don't buy that bullshit for a minute. I don't. Because you're not going to sit there. Because, all right, so then you give them this money. Then what? That doesn't solve anything. Giving them money doesn't solve shit. It doesn't make the problem go away. It doesn't automatically heal their traumatic past from back then. It doesn't do any of that, guys. So, again, the reparation, the money is bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. It's just the worst thing in the world. disagree. There are people who came here after the Civil War. Right, Linda. Right. That's one of the things. There are a lot of white folks that came here after the Civil War. There are a lot of black folks that came here after the Civil War. There are a lot of white folks that weren't here till probably 2-3 generations ago, right? Or 2 generations ago. Sorry. No, sorry. Right. 2-3 generations ago, there were people that just came here, right? So the reason why this bill might pass, as one person put it, white guilt. White guilt might pass this bill along a lot faster. I think black man owns nothing. Boots still on your neck. Yeah, Nina Reyes. I'm not oppressed. I don't know what this oppression people are speaking of. I really don't. I know that this is going to cause a definite argument in the chat. I'm all for it. But there is no oppression. If you feel like you're oppressed, you're doing something wrong. If you think you're oppressed, you're doing something wrong. We are not oppressed. There is no oppression here. If you want to talk about oppression, let's fucking throw a dart at any African nation, and they are oppressed. A lot of those nations are oppressed. Not all of them. A lot of them are. Right? That's oppression. Right? When you can't fucking wipe your ass the wrong way, that's oppression. If your last name is a tribal last name and different from the other tribe, and they kill you for that alone, that's oppression. If they tell you you can't fucking walk down my street because your name is Mobutu, that's oppression, guys. This shit here in the United States is not oppression. It really isn't. Listen, and it's not even about like disagreeing or opinions. It's a fact. There is no oppression here. A black man could do whatever the fuck he wants in 2021. Whatever he wants. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that we deserve reparations for some shit that we never experienced, but because it trickled down through the cellular synapses of our brain and it carried over from one generation to the next, again, bullshit. You are the commander of your own ship. You are in charge of your own destiny. You do what you want when you want to do it. The motherfuckers out here killing one another left and right. Again, Nina Reyes, it's not a fact because, again, look at the Black Billionaires Club. All you have to do is the Black Millionaires Club. Sorry, research that. You're gonna tell me those guys own nothing? It's not a fact. That's called ignorance. Because of lack of knowledge, you're gonna make those statements. And listen, guys, if you want to go toe to toe, by all means, we can go toe to toe. But I'm gonna tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not being oppressed. Sorry. I became a fireman because I wanted to be a fireman, and people told me you'll never be a fireman. You know, and people said, "Oh, because you're black, you're not going to be a fireman." And guess what the fuck I did? I became a fireman, right? Again, you can go downtown and try to buy a building. No matter how much money you have, your color will say no. Again, Nina, that's wrong. Wrong. There are black millionaires who own buildings downtown. I don't know where you're getting this from. I don't know where you're getting your information from. But you need to stop watching BET or whatever you're watching. You need to open your eyes. There are people out there who have money. All right? There are people out there who have money, and there are people out there who are buying land left and right. Black folks. Holy shit. Okay. I'm not even going to say what I was fucking laughing at, but if some of you guys saw the name that just went by on the screen, that's what I was laughing at. So anyway, that was fucking funny. So, guys, it's, listen, again, I'm going to piss off who I'm going to piss off. I really don't care, man. But, you guys, listen. Nina, you can find, if you're still on here, because you're probably like scratching the computer screen right now, you could find tons of black YouTubers who own homes, who own businesses and buildings. So don't give me that shit that you can't. If you are going to let some bullshit that happened years ago affect you now, that is your fault. If you want to live in shit, squalor, fucking have your kids run around a diaper and then blame fucking slavery, that shit is on you. On you. You're not going to tell me that successful black folks let slavery fucking hold them down. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to my parents. It's not going to happen to my kids. You know, it is what it is, guys. I get it that you know, we're looking for someone to blame. We're looking for something to blame. The fact that we are debating shows we all care. Yes. Doom Rude, 1995. Right. Apparently everybody cares because, first of all, people are here watching. Secondly, everyone has their opinion on this, right? Which is great. Grim Reaper. He's not on here anymore, man. At least I don't think he is. But yeah, that ship has sailed, man. Anyway, guys. So here's the problem, right? So the problem is that we're looking for an excuse, right? Raven, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And listen, guys, I wasn't raised. That's the other thing. Thank you for bringing that up. I wasn't raised poor. I was raised with two working parents. I was raised with a father who didn't leave, and I was raised with a mother who, you know, who beat me whenever I fucking looked at her wrong. But I probably had it coming to me. But you can't tell me, guys, that Miss K. I mean, yeah, we can all argue Oprah sold out at some point, but you're not going to tell me that she still made it on her own. She still fucking she still made it to where she made it. Whether she sold out or not, she still made it. You still have to play the game, guys. I don't care what you're saying. You still have to fucking move forward. You still think past the bullshit and you get to where you're gonna get. Hey, Nina, I know what Willie Lynch syndrome is. Willie Lynch syndrome is a bullshit syndrome. It's for people like you hanging on to the bullshit. Because people like you want to keep the rest of the black race down with your stupid bullshit ideology thinking. That's the problem with people like you. People like you are a cancer to the black community. That's the bottom line, right? So, that being said, if you want to continue to be a cancer to your people, then by all means be a cancer. But don't sit there and tell me it's about slavery. And don't sit there and tell me it's about slavery and you don't know how to fix it. Because if it is about slavery, if there's some traumatic effect about it, you have to learn how to fix it. And you can't keep pointing at the past and going, well, the past did it to us. That's what did it to us, the past. And then what? You got to fix it. But if you don't have a way to fix it, then shut the fuck up and sit down and let the men and the women of the fucking world take over. And the men and the women of the world taking over, if you will, we're the people, not we, but they're the people who are going to move ahead. They're not going to let fucking slavery slow them down. All right? And this is this is what pisses me off about people like Anina Reyes. People who are talking out of their fucking ass and don't know what they're talking about. Right? You always want to blame the past, but you don't want to look forward to the future. You always want to look behind you and go, well, it was that did it to me. That's why. Well, guess what? That's why. Because you don't want to fucking grow up. You don't want to make your life better. You don't want to look in the fucking mirror and go, you know what? I'm fucking this community up. Maybe I should be a better person. That's what the fuck you should be doing. But instead, you want to blame the past. So be it. Be the fucking cancer then. Because that's what you are. That's what you people are. You people are cancers. Period. Nina, yes, black men are being blamed for attacking Asians because guess who's on video attacking Asians? Black guys. I'm sorry. Yes, Asians, you're right, set up their shop in black neighborhoods and took the money out. I don't have any feelings over the whole Asian thing. I don't, because I've experienced my racial bullshit with them too. But again, that's another problem that needs to be fixed, right? We could sit here and blame Asians for, taking money out of the black community, arresting, getting black men arrested for going into their stores and suspecting them of stealing. I know all of that shit. But again, are we going to live in the past or are we going to move forward? Yeah, someone said something about my good parents is privilege. It's not privilege, dickface. It's fucking my parents doing the right human thing and staying with their kids and not fucking leaving or beating their kids or throwing them into a fucking corner and throwing hot water on them. That's called being a human fucking being. It's not being privileged, you prick. It's again, it's you people out there who think that, again, someone brought up something about cops. There are more cops in black neighborhoods. You know why there are more cops in black neighborhoods? Because there's more fucking crime in the black neighborhood. That's why. If you let certain neighborhoods, not all black neighborhoods, because certain black neighborhoods police themselves. They police themselves, and they rarely have cops come in or respond, if you will. But then you have other black neighborhoods, they go off the rails. And without cops, it's unchecked. We see what cities look like without cops, and they go unchecked. And crime fucking explodes. So anyway, guys, again, living in the fucking past is going to get you no fucking where. Reparations is not going to heal the past. Keep pointing behind you is not going to heal the past. Unfortunately, you have to grow up, stop being retarded, right? Grow up, become an adult, and go, how are we going to make this better? That's what you do, guys. You have to move forward. BLM, which we all know the sacks of shit they are, the frauds that they are, they don't help the black community, but they say they are. Nina Reyes, I actually don't, because I tell people all the time, don't donate to me. And Miss K, who are you agreeing to disagree with? I might have missed that. But anyway, man, it's not about white funds, Nina. Again, it's about people like you being an asshole. And listen, this is where I'm at right now. So see, I was trying to be nice, but you know what? You can't be nice with assholes. You can't be nice with ignorant people who want to live in the past. You can't be nice to fucking ignorant people like Nina Reyes, who will fucking sit there and call people like myself Uncle Tom, this, that, and the third. But yet, you'll watch a dude shoot a fucking kid in the face and you won't call the cops. Right? You'll sit there and watch a fucking drug dealer shoot up a fucking neighborhood, hit 2 innocent kids, but you won't fucking call the cop because that's snitching. Again, people like you are the fucking cancers. And any last one of you guys who are thinking, well, you know what? You using Uncle Tom, you tap dancing nigga. I'll be a tap dancing nigga, motherfucker. Because guess what? What I'm not going to do is tear down my fucking neighborhood. What I'm not going to do is shoot fucking innocent kids. What I'm not going to do is fucking stand by and watch it happen and not do something. But yet, you people want to continue to live in the fucking past. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you right now. We watch cops fuck up or be assholes. And then when a cop fucks up, or they're an asshole about it, or they're like a Derek Chauvin, they're those kind of fucking assholes, right? Everyone wants to point the finger and see, motherfucker, how you doing, right? Okay. So now they're fucking screaming and yelling at him. But yet a fucking guy shoots a kid, or like the fucking 7-year-old girl who was shot in a car outside of McDonald's after going to McDonald's with her father. She gets shot, and what happens? Now the motherfucker's going to say a goddamn word. So, again, guys, it's insane. You want to fucking sit there and tap dance and fucking be the cancer to the fucking community. But you can't fucking sit there and figure out how to heal it either. You got to pick and choose, guys. You can't fucking sit there and blame and don't fucking have a solution. You need a solution. I have a solution, but do you? Brian Nichols, thank you for that. There is no protesting for this little girl that was shot in Chicago at the McDonald's drive-thru. That's the one I was talking about. All right, she wasn't 7, she was 6. I don't see you, Nina, talking about that shit. I don't see you lighting a fucking candle and saying your prayers. Nope. You're going to sit here like the ignorant cancer you are and try to battle me when you are 1,000% going to lose that battle. Because you are not doing anything about situations like that. But yet, you want to come on this channel and try to motherfuck me. And again, you can try all you want. You're going to lose. You're going to fucking lose. Because it's cancers like you. And anybody else that thinks, well, yes, Miss K, that goes without saying. Stay away from racist people. But I also believe the ignorant side of me also believes that some people can be not turned, but convinced that we're not animals, and not all of us anyway. Because listen, guys, there's animals in every race, right? The whole fucking black men are animals and black women are animals and Spanish. No, there are animals in every fucking race you can think of, right? And a lot of people who follow me, they understand that thinking and that logic. They understand my thinking and my logic. Right? And for those of you that still follow me, I appreciate it. For those of you who don't agree with me but still follow me, I appreciate it. But we're not going to sit here, guys, and talk about fucking racism and reparations and act like this shit doesn't fucking, that this is it. That this is what we're going to keep blaming. We're going to keep fucking running this wheel like a hamster on a wheel. We're going to keep the same fucking cycle and shit. At some point, you got to fucking say, well, what can we do differently this time around? Instead of the race baiting bullshit. Because that's all politicians are doing. Pieces of shit like Maxine Waters, she's a race baiting piece of shit, right? And people fall for it. People like Nina, she'll sit there and go, Maxine Waters is a righteous black skeleton. Yeah, she means well. No, she doesn't. This bitch stays in office because of fucking cancers like you. People like you who will vote this fucking bitch in because she is fucking stirring the racial pot, and all you people are doing are going, yes, 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 like fucking idiots. Right? But let her be fucking righteous. Again, guys, really eat a dick, and it's just, I don't know what else to say on that matter. And again, guys, again, you can call me Uncle Tom. I think someone called me the Uncle Prepper, the Uncle Angry. I don't know. Whoever the fuck wrote it, it was something funny to that effect. And again, I'll be an Uncle Tom. I'll be whatever the fuck you want me to be. But I tell you this much, I know that I'm not a cancer to my race, if you will, my people, right? I'm not gonna sit out here and fucking sell drugs. I hope that was a good thing, Southern Belle. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Seacock, I guess, right? That would be the better solution. That would absolutely be the better solution. Let fucking these politicians who keep race baiting, right? Who keep race baiting us, who keep hanging on to the race machine and turning the race machine on, rather, and having everyone hate each other by sitting there saying stupid asinine shit. Abigail, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Right, guys? I mean, listen, man. I walk down the street, right, and I'm not getting stopped by the fucking, Uncle Angry Prepper. Yeah, that's what it was. That's probably what it was, right? So, I could walk down the street and I'm not going to get stopped by the cops just because I'm black. Because that's what people are saying. Apparently, all of a sudden, because you're black, you're stopped by the cops. Apparently, because you're black, you can't own anything. Right? You can't do this, you can't do that. I've seen black men and here's the deal about Nina Reyes. This is why I know she's a moron, a buffoon, a cancer. Because if she knows black history, she knows that in black history, black men have made leaps, bounds, and strides, and black women, even back in the fucking 1800s. They own shit. They own land. They own property. Yes, some of it was taken away, later on in life, but they still owned it. And then when it was taken away from them, they got it back decades, centuries later, but nonetheless, they got it back. But that's because people don't know their history. That's because people like Nina are morons. Because instead of doing their own research, instead of reading their own books, instead of fucking reading about black history, Spanish history, whatever it is, they just want to rely on Maxine Waters. Right? So, If you don't, if you don't know your history, you can't fucking talk shit. And there's enough idiots out there who don't know their history. Hence, the reparations not being a good idea because they don't know their reparations. They don't know their history. Sorry. The problem with fucking reparations and history, guys, is that people don't know it. People don't know why they're getting it. They're going to be like, well, why am I getting this money? Oh, because your uncle was a slave 1,000 years ago. Okay. So now I get money for him being a slave? They go, yes, you do. And they're like, okay, but it doesn't, there's no emotions attached to it. How can you be emotionally attached to something you never experienced? Yes, we can watch movies on slavery and feel mad, upset, pissed off. But then you walk out of the movie theaters and you go, oh shit, it's 2021. I think I'm going to go have McDonald's now with, the white folks here in America. Or the Spanish folks, or the Chinese folks, or the melting pot of America, right? So again, guys, the racism thing is real. Yes, don't get me wrong. I don't mind fucking punching people in the face who are racist. I do not mind calling out racist people. I'll call them out in a fucking heartbeat. I don't have a problem with it if it's there. But you can't look at every fucking situation and find the race in it. You just can't. And people do it. People will always find a fucking issue with it. They'll look at it and be like, oh my God, you see what that white guy said to me? That's racist. He told me no. Imagine. So now, enter white guilt. This bullshit that's going on, guys. Miss K, listen, I experienced racism 1,000 times, lady, ma'am, sorry. And I experienced racism 1,000 times. And guess what? You know what you do? You experience the racism and you move the fuck on, right? Either you get into the fucking fist fight with them or you leave it alone. Those are your two choices, right? Calling the cops and fucking trying to shame them or whatever it is. Either be in the fight or fucking be out of the fight. But, pointing the finger and be like, oh, they're racist. All right, so what? What are you going to do? If you're not going to do anything about it, then you leave it alone. I wholeheartedly, guys, I run into racism issues and I will call them out on the spot. I won't leave it alone. I won't wait for next time. I will call them out on the spot. Shit. 10 years ago, maybe? How old are the kids? So 10 years ago in Arizona. Maybe it was less than that. But in Arizona. See, again, Miss Kate, exactly. You did something about it then. You left the bullshit behind. You created your own. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to wallow in it. And I'm not saying you are, but people do. People wallow in the racism bullshit. But anyway, guys, so I'm in Arizona. And we go to this place called the Golden Eagle. It's a restaurant, right? So it's called the Golden Eagle. It's in Sedona, Arizona, or right outside of Sedona. So anyway, we go in the restaurant, and right out of the gates, I walk in there, and I'm like, smells like racism in here, right? Just reeked of racism. But anyway, we sit down, because the reviews were good. So we go and we sit down, and I'm like, we walk past the main eating area and go to the back. So I'm like, all right, strike one. Whatever. But there's this noisy kid in the front. He's jumping up and down on the chair, and he's fucking screaming and yelling. And we're like, whatever, man. We're away from him. No, not the Golden Corral, the Golden Eagle. Golden Corral. Ugh. So anyway, so now we're sitting in a restaurant, and the window's open, and it's a fucking awesome view of a mountain. I want to say Bell Rock, but maybe not. So anyway, but we're looking at this awesome view, right? The sky's nice, the sun's about to set. It's a great view. And then behind the counter, it's actually a bar. So the bar's in the back of the restaurant. So it probably is a gay bar now, Prepper 101. So now we're sitting there, we're watching the view, and a Native American, she's the bartender. So with that, I'm thinking Native American, black, like, oh, okay. If there's some kind of connection, there isn't. There isn't a fucking connection with Native Americans and blacks. I've experienced enough racism from Native Americans. I'll get into that later. So anyway, so now she comes from behind the bar and closes the window. Closes the shade while we're looking out the window. Doesn't say, excuse me, guys, just closes it. I'm like, and so me and the wife look at each other, we're like, what the fuck? So I get up, go to the window, I open the shades. I turn around to the lady, I'm like, you touch that shade again, I'm gonna break your fucking hand. And I think I called her Pocahontas. So yeah, whatever, racist, right? Racist me, woo. So with that, she just gives me a glare, but she doesn't touch the windows again. Okay, so now we're sitting back there, and another couple comes walking in, and a couple comes walking in, and they're black, and the male, the man is black, and the woman is Asian. I think she's Chinese or something. So now we're like, oh shit, there's a trend. Like, my wife and myself, and then the Asian lady and the husband. I'm like, all right. So I go back up front and I look and I'm like, and there's a lot of seats up front, but everyone up front was white. Right. So guy, keep in mind, this is like 8 years ago, 8 years ago, right? So listen, guys, what did we do? Well, you hit him in the my wife did. She went on to not Travelocity. What the fuck is that big travel app that everyone leaves a fucking review on? She went on to there, and then she left a message, and the person reached out to her, was like, we're sorry. When you come back, we'll give you like whatever discount, and we never went back, right? So anyway, guys, the bottom line is, I called the Native American chick out of her bullshit right there, and then we called it out after we left on the app, not Yelp. It's another one. It's another major traveling app. The one with the owl, TripAdvisor. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that, TripAdvisor. So we went on that, and they were trying to scrub the review, but they can't because it's stuck on there. So anyway, that's what you do. You call it out when you see it, and yeah, and the food was okay. So right. No, I think it's called the Golden Eagle. I'm pretty sure it's called the Golden Eagle. It's not called the Golden Goose. Unless somebody lives in Sedona, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's called the Golden Eagle. Now you gotta make me look it up. Golden. I can't spell. Stupid. Just kidding. Sedona. Yeah, Golden Eagle. Sedona. Yeah, damn it, guys. Everybody's Golden Goose? No, it's a Golden Eagle. In Sedona, right? So anyway, I think it's also attached to a hotel. That's not the point. The point is, guys, that yes, there's racism, and even in Sedona. Now, Sedona, I noticed that's very, very racist. So you get racism from white folks, and you get racism from Native Americans. So it's two people that you deal with when you're out there. Now, the transplants that live in Sedona, you know who they are because they look at you and they welcome you with open arms. And then every time they would be like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, there is a Golden Eagle Drive, and the Golden Eagle restaurant's like from there. So when you anyway, guys, enough with the Golden Eagle. Sorry. So when you're there, you're experiencing racism from two people, and it is what it is, right? You can't let certain things affect you. You can't let racial incidences or the possibility of something racist happening stop you from doing some shit. Nancy Harmon, I don't hate Cherokee Natives. I'm not a fan. Not that I'm not a fan, because my son's half, or actually he's a quarter Native American. And not that I hate him. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I just, I'm not as perceptive as I used to be when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I'd be like, oh, Native Americans, because they got mistreated, we got mistreated. There was a connection. No, there isn't a connection. There was actually a place here. There's a Native American place here. I think it was the Shinnecock, and they had a place over in the village. And I remember we went in there once, me and the wife again, half Native American, and ex-wife, sorry, ex-wife is half Native American. She's a Cherokee as well. And we go in there, and we're looking to see when the next powwow is so we can drive out to it, right? So anyway, we're in there, and we're in there first, and we're the only ones in there. We walk in, and what do? They look at us, and they act like they were busy doing some other shit. So they go to the next side of the counter, the other side, far side of the counter. So as we're sitting there waiting, we're like, all right, maybe they are busy. We don't say anything. So we're waiting around, and some white folks come in, and I think they were tourists, but some white folks come in behind us, probably like 2-3 minutes later, and what do? They run over to them with a smile on their face. With that, I cut them down, and I said some nasty fucking shit in there, and And my wife was like dragging me out. My ex-wife was dragging me out. She was like, oh, no, leave it alone. I'm like, fuck them. They see us in there, and then all of a sudden they're fucking, they ran over to the white folks and said, fuck me. So that's where it went. And, and like I said, listen, there are Native Americans that are just regular people. They see people for who they are. But there are actually racist Native Americans. But listen, guys, there are racist Africans that don't like black Americans. There are racist Chinese and Koreans that don't like blacks, right? There are fucking racist Jews that don't like anyone, or Hasidic Jews anyway, right? So it's racism is all over the place. We can't sit here and pretend, guys. We can't sit here and pretend that racism is just a one-way street and that racism is only white folks. That's the other thing we can't do. The reparations is just coming from where? I experienced racism from a lot of other races. So they all going to chip in and fucking reparations? No, right? And fucking reparations. That made no sense, right? Thank you, Tennessee Tactical, right? Tennessee Tactical 1 says there's every race has racism or has a racist in it. It's just what it is. But you can't solely make it for just white folks. And you can't guilt white people into the shit either. But then you better start guilting everybody else into the shit, man. KR, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it, man. Listen, guys, it's Prepper Brian. That's the one thing. I have to tell you, racism is taught, but it's not taught always by the parents, right? So again, it's also taught through experience, right? Thank you for bringing that up, Prepper Brian. It's also taught through experience. So I remember growing up, liking everyone, thinking everyone was my friend and everyone liked us, and and that's just how it was. And then you start experiencing racism. You start experiencing with white folks, Native Americans. Those are the two first. Then Africans. For whatever reason, Africans they're hard up on hating us. Black Americans, right? And then I got it from Puerto Ricans. But when Puerto Ricans found out I was half Puerto Rican, they were like, oh, me, and then all of a sudden I was their fucking best friends. I experienced racism from Dominicans. And they used to call me nigga left and right. I'm like, motherfucker, you're like 2 shades darker than me, and you calling me, like, they perceive themselves to be something different. So guys, again, racism I experienced from a lot of different races. It's not a white thing, it's an everything thing. It's an everyone thing. Everyone doesn't, has racism in their what you call. I know white folks, I know white folks that would give their life to save somebody else of a different race. And I know other races that would do the same. So fortunately, we deal with a smaller population of racists now than we do before. All right? And we can't keep hanging on to the past. And I know that, Mrs. K, Southern Belle teacher, and those two, they follow me religiously, and they'll agree with me. They won't. And I'm waiting to read why Southern Belle teacher thinks not. But people like Nina, they're a cancer. That's all it is, guys. It's people like her who want to fucking browbeat people like me. And then sit there and go, well, you're an Uncle Tom. Well, how do you want me to help the black community then? Raven, thank you for the donations. I appreciate it. Like, how do you want me to? Because I know how I can help. But then when I introduce those healing tactics, if you will, it's the wrong word, but healing tactics for the black community and where to start, it's laughed at. It's stupid. It doesn't work. Black folks don't want to go outdoors. I hear all the excuses. But when you hear the excuses, but you don't want to entertain them, that's part of the black community's problem. They don't want to entertain them. They just fucking want to sit by and go, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. This is not going to work. You know what's going to work? Money's going to work. Then you give them the money, then what? Does it stop? Does it stop? Does the racism stop? Does it heal the past? No. Money doesn't heal the fucking past. Addressing the problem heals the past. Looking in the mirror and saying, I got to make a change. Even if you want to say this, listen. She, Mrs. K, she did it to herself. Sorry, right? Nina did it to herself. She opened her mouth with her ignorance and her stupidity. She did it to herself. She made herself the target. Congratulations, lady, you're the target. Oh, all right. Thank you for that, Southern Belle. But anyway, um, listen, I deal with the ignorance all the time. I was called an Uncle Tom for having a job, working. The JC, thank you for the donations. I was called an Uncle Tom on multiple occasions just for having a job. So imagine that. All right, I get you, Mrs. K. Roger that. So imagine being called, an Uncle Tom for, having a job, or being called an Uncle Tom for having your parents in your life. I've had that happen to me more than once. People like, your parents are still in your life? You must have had a good white life. I'm like, what? What the fuck does that mean? Because my parents stayed with me, now I'm a sellout? I had my partner in EMS once. My EMS partner. This was before I became a fireman. She says, you know what, the Cosby, that's not real life. Black people don't live like that. That's not how it works. I'm like, what? I said, there's no black doctors and lawyers? She goes, yeah, but they don't live like that. I'm like, where the fuck do they live then? It was one of those asinine fucking comments. Nina, or you can explain yourself better by emailing me at angrytruth77@gmail.com. You can do that as well, too, if you want to explain yourself better, because you're right. Part of the problem with the chat is I'm only reading a part of it because people don't want to write an essay because you can't, which I appreciate that you guys don't. But there is that side of it. Moose Lodge. No, don't worry about the PayPal donations. I tell people, enough that you don't have to donate to me. I appreciate it. I really do. It's awesome, but it's I don't know. Don't worry about it, man. Thank you for it, though, Moose Lodge. I appreciate it. But yeah, listen, guys. I know I went off a little bit off the a little bit. I went off the topic. And I will talk about the New York State $15,000 for illegals on another live stream and a video, because that's another subject that's probably going to piss me off and put me in another rant. But you know what, guys? So Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Yes, I'm ready for the bug out event this weekend. So, and guys, for those of you watching for the Angry Prepper channel, we will be doing videos. Well, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival and I will be doing videos for that weekend. So you should stay tuned for that next week. Why always fear-mongering? Frank P., what do you mean, why always fear-mongering? So anyway, guys, I think my time is up. Well, I'm almost up, almost at an hour. Again, like I said, I do appreciate the fucking... I said I do apologize for going off on a tear. Southwest Native, I definitely will. Yeah, Atlanta Lisa, I don't know what fear-mongering he was talking about. Maybe he was talking about my last video. I don't know. And I explained my last video on the Angry Prepper live stream. So, because it's not fear-mongering. Guys, okay, so real quick. What fear-mongering is telling people that you're gonna die. This is gonna happen. You better get ready and accept death and all this other bullshit. That's fear-mongering, right? When you talk about a situation that's possibly coming and come up with a solution, that's not fear-mongering. Fear-mongering is leaving people in the open with no solution, with no hope. That's more importantly, with no hope. That's fear-mongering. And there are some YouTube channels, there are a lot of YouTube channels that do that. I don't fearmonger. I will tell you that something might be coming, might be headed this way, to look out for it and to be ready for it, and this is how to get ready for it. That's not fearmongering. Because on my channel, I tell people, don't fearmonger. Not don't fearmonger, but don't fear what's coming. Adapt to it. That's how you handle it. You can't handle a situation by fucking being in fear. I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared. That's not how it works. Right? If I tell you something, that's for a reason. And if I tell you how to handle it, or suggest how to handle it, that's how you should. All right, Southern Belle teacher. So, commercial tonight. So normally, guys, I do, for those of you that are new, I do commercials for my freeze-dried food. Actually, I haven't done a commercial for my freeze-dried food in months. Only because I think, whatever. It's freeze-dried food, guys. And yes, I'm an affiliate with them, and the food is good. But as far as the commercial goes, I don't really think I have anything in me today to do a commercial. Though, if you do get freeze-dried food, guys, there are two things that you can do with it. There is two things you can do with the freeze-dried food. So the freeze-dried food company that I normally back, not normally, but I do back, is Patriot Food Supply, right? And Nutrient Survival. Nutrient Survival has more nutrients in their freeze-dried foods, so you should definitely go with it. And my Patriot Food Supply, that's good food for emergencies. These foods are good for emergencies, but if you have another emergency like a water leak, you can also use it as spackle. That does work. Now, I'm pretty sure they're not going to like that. They're like, our food is not that bad. It tastes good, and you can spackle it if you have a water leak. And if you get hungry, you can lick the water leak. Right? So there you go. Freeze-dried food, guys, from my Nutrient Survival is this link right here. I'm going to drop it in the link now. And that's Nutrient Survival. The link changed because they changed their way. And this link here is for the other spackle food by My Patriot Food Supply. So, guys, listen, do what you want with it. You can put it on the wall and lick it later. You can save it and eat it for an emergency. You choose. Right, lick the leak. Other than that, guys, I do appreciate you guys for joining me today. I do appreciate the debate. Nina, if I went on a warpath, let's see what you say in the email before I apologize. Miss K and Southern Bell Teacher, thank you again for the opposition. I appreciate the opposition, always. And for those of you that called me the Uncle Prepping Tom, or Uncle Prepper, Uncle ANGRYPREPPER, thank you for that too as well. Other than that, guys, hemorrhoids. I don't know anything about hemorrhoids. I'm not getting into it. We're not even going there. But other than that, Hudson Valley Prepping Survival, I will see you Friday night or Friday late afternoon. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching.